Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the weekly news roundup privacy edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to come around and watch them live, you can go ahead and do that. So before we get started, let's go ahead and have a look at today's affiliate link of the day. Would be private internet access. If you need a VPN, and not everybody does need a VPN, but if you are a person who needs a VPN, maybe you're traveling around, you need to check your connections from different geolocations, you work at coffee shops a lot, you have a need for a VPN, definitely consider private internet access. The other thing this will do is they block out a lot of those ad trackers by default. So if you do not have the ability to run anything on your custom network as far as a custom host file or things, this will actually get rid of a lot of those things. And so just be aware private internet access is a pretty good one. You can go ahead and have a look at my link there, which is tlm.li/PIA, and that is actually an in-house link shortener that I have. So let's go ahead and get started on the news, and most of this is actually Google. In fact, I had to fight hard to find something that was not from Google, and thank you to whoever sent me this article this week, because you gave me the only thing I had in privacy that wasn't Google, because I had to cut Google articles out. It feels like last week when I had to cut AT&T down, because AT&T was like everything crazy and bad in the news was all AT&T. This week it was Google. I had to cut things out. But anyway, before we get into the crazy Google privacy scary news, soldiers with top secret clearances who were actually working as undercover on the ground were forced to use a military app with crazy permissions that could actually expose who they are. Then the military comes back and says, well, it didn't require to use them. It was highly recommended. And no. It was required. It was required. Nothing to see here. So basically, when you go in to install this app, these are the permission settings. So 504th military intelligence app permissions. There's network-based stuff, phones, storage, other things, send sticky broadcast, have full network access, view network connections, prevent phone from sleeping, set a wallpaper, receive data from the internet, read Google service configurations. Here's the calendar, add or modify events, contacts, location, pretty much everything in the phone. And so these intelligence soldiers, they are literally undercover behind enemy lines doing highly dangerous, highly critical work, and the military was forcing them to have this app on their phone that would allow them to be exposed and collect their data and send it out to different places, and not to mention all the other things out there. And so there were some issues, apps permissions, which suggested it could pull GPS locations, data, phones, contacts, and even rewrite memory cards. Frustrated soldiers who've taken extreme precautions they felt were glossed over by Trotter, which is who created the app, and other senior leaders. Just being intelligence, we were trained to be extremely paranoid of anything. Kind of like me, I don't know. This is a serious operational security is not being considered. It's secure, it's on a phone, it's all perfectly fine. Guys, don't use your phones for a whole lot more than, basic telecommunication stuff. Anything more than that is kind of problematic, so just keep that in mind. So, with that, let's see, sensitive information like loan debts, history of drug use, or even a trail of adultery through dating apps are all pieces of information that can be used to blackmail soldiers or be a moral, upstanding person. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it is kind of bad if you're a security agent and you are forced to have this type of app on your phone that could pretty much off you at any point in time. Well, there's my non-Google news for the day in the privacy world. So let's go ahead and get started. This was an interesting one that came out. So Google, if you have Chrome, not Chromium like I'm running here to run my YouTube stuff, but Google Chrome installed on your computer will completely automatically update itself without even asking you. It just does it all in the background. Well, Google IT guys wanted to say, we want to test something, and they flip the switch, and the monkey flips the switch. And it caused Chrome across pretty much the whole business enterprise deployment to simply stop working entirely. Caused probably hundreds of thousands of man hours trying to figure out what in the world was wrong. It was a quiet test that they decided to push on all of their users without telling anybody about it by automatically pushing an update in the background. People, this is why I do not like software automatically updating. Some people asked, but by the way, I did forget to turn on the IRC chat because I'm still getting to, I'll get up the IRC chat after this thing here. So if you're watching on the IRC chat, I'll pull this up after we're done with the privacy section. But people ask, why don't I do it like a Telegram room, for example? Well, the reason is because Telegram on Linux, last time I tried it, it might have changed, completely automatically updates itself, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Any software that does that on my computer cannot be on my computer. You can nag me, you can annoy me, but I'm updating that software when I want to update the software so that this type of stuff doesn't happen. I don't need Telegram to update something in the background, push some weird, crazy stuff in there, especially since there's cases, if you remember the CCleaner case, automatically install an update. Well, hackers got in there and pushed some malicious code. Everybody's CCleaner automatically updated to a malicious version and harvested a lot of stuff off people's computers, and nobody was the wiser for it. That's a dangerous, problematic thing that we have to consider. Absolutely. And so this is the problem with this. So they kind of came out and said, oh, it was our fault. We turned the thing off. But it's like, why are you pushing tests on IT professionals in business enterprises without alerting people? That is so bad policy. And you IT guys out there, if this happened to you, you had better be ditching Google Chrome. Ditch that crap. Say, you know what? They cost thousands of dollars of man hours. There's no way we're going to recoup any of that. We're done with Chrome. We're going to go with a different one. I'm not sure who you're going with, though, unfortunately, because Firefox also decides to do back-end stuff with people as well without telling them. And there's so many. We need a web browser that's actually good in this world. All right. CNBC Politics newsletter. No, I hate politics.com. There, sign me up. Oh, really? Come on. Yes. All right, anyway, give me a pop-up asking for an email address about politics. I don't want to talk politics. Not right now, anyway. All right, so Google is getting into the banking with search giant set to offer checking accounts next year through Citibank. So we're not selling this data. We're not going to sell it. It's like, guys, FYI, Facebook doesn't sell data. They just lease access to it. But I don't think that this is about Google even leasing the access to the data. This is your monthly reminder to go find the Selfish Ledger, download yourself a copy of it, and watch it. At least once a month, I want everybody following my channel to watch the Selfish Ledger. This is terrifying because even if Google chooses not even to lease this information, Selfish Ledger is Google's ultimate master plan to coerce everybody into the direction they want to go. Okay? They want to get as much data about you so that they can force the direction. It starts with step one, you telling it what you like, and then they start giving you things, and you start seeing the stuff in the algorithm that says, oh, I like that. We're going to go ahead and use that. And then it starts moving and throwing in some things that it wants you to kind of do, and so you do that. But then it'll get to the part where it says, well, we need more information. Like, we don't know this guy's weight, so we're going to keep pushing you on a smart scale that will tie into our Google services so that you can use this and be super convenient, and now we can gain your weight or your exercise habits or your sleep patterns or your heart rate. Let's just buy Fitbit. Oh, we did that already. So I don't know if this is necessarily about collecting data to lease it to people or to sell it or use it for advertising, although they probably will do that stuff. But this is still about gaining our preferences. There is an old statement that you hear if you walk around in Christian circles like I do. It says, show me your checkbook, I'll show you what's important to you. I guess that can be non-Christian circles as well. And it's a valid thing. If you show me your checkbook, I can see what's important to you. Well, now we're going to be sharing our checkbooks with Google if you're buying into this kind of stuff. So that's kind of a dangerous thing. This is a dangerous place to be. Do not let Google see the things that you're interested in buying. All right, and on to, I have two articles here. I have this one, and I actually have a comment here pulled up from Google as well. This one here was a nice article. So this is I am the Google whistleblower. The medical data of millions of Americans is at risk. This is called Project Nightingale. We're going to get back to that name in a bit here. But Project Nightingale is this was a project that they were working with Ascension, which is a huge data provider here in the United States. And the idea behind Ascension is they operate, I think, in like 20 states or something. And basically what's happened is it's all of the hospitals connected, everything in the Ascension network was passing all of their data into Google as a means to basically as a cloud infrastructure. Access data on Google Drives and things like this. The catch about this, though, is that 250 people at Google could see that data, and it was not anonymized data. This is 250 people at Google can see the names, the birth dates, and the complete medical records of millions of patients who had never consented to pass any of that information to Google. Now, part of it is the hospital just using Google services like schools do, which is why I think it should be illegal for Google or Microsoft or any one of these big cloud service industries to be giving free accounts to kids or to medical institutions. Too many issues. So Congress is looking into this, but legal experts say, well, it technically doesn't violate the HIPAA regulations because, it's required for their back-end infrastructure. But one of the initial points is to say, we're going to use this to more effectively figure out how to offer tests to people to make more profit for a nonprofit group. This is a nonprofit group. Okay, let me tell you something. Somebody here needs to go to jail. Somebody at Google needs to push the delete key. We do not need all of this data being shared with a big company like Google for this purpose. There's no reason they have it. There's been no opt-in. There's no controls on it. Any one of these 250 people at Google could be the same people at Facebook who stalked women, at the police departments who have stalked women, at the Twitter who has stalked women, at AT&T who has allowed access to hackers into the network. We have serious problems with all of this under the table data collection. Congress, are you listening? Stop trying to impeach the president and get your butts to work. That's what they hired you for. All right, let me tell you something, man. Get to work, Congress. This should be illegal. This should be illegal. All right? So over 250 people have access to all of this completely full and complete data on people who simply showed up in an Ascension clinic. Kind of interesting, kind of scary. So they released some information. All right. Today, we are proud to announce more details on our partnership with Ascension because we got caught with our hands in the cookie jar. All right. So, what was the work we're doing with Ascension? Back in July, Q2 earnings call, we announced Google Cloud's AI and ML solutions are helping healthcare organizations like Ascension improve healthcare experiences and outcomes. Our work with Ascension is exactly that, a business arrangement to help a provider with the latest technology, similar to the work we do with dozens of other healthcare providers. These organizations like Ascension use Google to securely manage their patient data. Under strict privacy and security standards, they are stewards of data, and we provide services on their behalf. So it focuses on three things: shifting their infrastructure to the cloud. Great! All of our health data is going to be in the clouds. How wonderful. All right. Using G Suite productivity tools. This is, Drive and all these types of things. Extending tools to doctors and nurses to improve care. Never mind. I was going to mention something that happened in an Iowa clinic. It's just too painful to mention. We aim to provide tools that Ascension could use to support improvements in clinical quality and patient safety. What about patient data? All of Google's work with Ascension adheres to industry-wide regulations, including HIPAA, regarding patient data, and come with strict guidelines on data privacy, security, and usage, which is why they have a large team of people who can access all of the data. Great. All right, so basically, to be clear, under this arrangement, Ascension's data cannot be used for any other purposes than providing the services we're offering. They also say that data cannot be combined with any other Google consumer data, but it probably will be, just letting you know. I find this an interesting thing. What does the name Nightingale come from? Have a look at this. It's actually the code name that both parties are using for this project, nothing more. Is that an interesting question and answer? Where did Nightingale come from? Oh, Florence Nightingale. Yes, the patient or the nurse that got emotionally entangled in the outcomes of her patients. I think Nightingale is a very frightening name for a project with Google having all of their information in the middle of all of this. This is the type of thing that we don't need. This is the type of reason why I actually don't go and visit doctors. I don't care. I'd rather get cancer and die than go and give all of my data out to all these doctors who put it in all these computers and send it to all these people that I don't agree with and I don't have consent with. I don't care. Hey, I'm a Christian. I know where I'm going when I die. I don't care. I don't care. Right? So the fact of the matter is, this type of thing should be illegal. There should be an explicit opt-in required with written notice on a single piece of paper with big letters. By signing this document, you agree to give Google your data so they can help diagnose you. Do you agree or disagree? You disagree, you say, not happening. That should absolutely occur. Google should do the right thing and delete all of this data. Ascension should do the right thing and close. Let's find another hospital. It's not going to just carte blanche hand everything over to Google. What are your thoughts on all these things? Let me know in the comments down below.